Hey everybody, Caleb here. Today I've got my guitar back out. I need to get a video out, and the one I was working on has thrown up a complication that's going to take a lot longer. So today we're going to do a little bit of work on my guitar. What I'd like to do today, besides a little bit of sanding, is I found the tuners that I've had for a long time stashed away, and I wanted to see if they'd fit in the headstock, and they definitely fit in the holes. The problem is the headstock's still too thick, so we're going to need to fix that today. I'm trying to show you. If I hold it up here on the side, you can see the headstock's way too thick, so we're going to need to go take this out and sand some off the back. That's what I'm hoping to do today, besides get a little bit more closer to putting some finish on it. Put those tuners away. And I think we're getting really close to start spraying finish on this thing. I think all I really want to do is go sand that headstock down just to the right thickness, and then we might tape it up and go spray a little bit of finish. See what it looks like. So, yeah, I'm getting pretty happy with our grain filler and everything. I think we're doing pretty good. I think the next thing we're going to do is go outside where I have my thickness sander and sand this headstock a little bit thinner. I guess you can't see it, but sand that headstock a little bit thinner so we can get those tuners in there. I'll go get the measurements before we start sanding and get it just perfect. So, see you in a bit. So I needed to take this down to 600 thousandths of an inch. That's the thickness the headstock needed to be. And you can see I had to put a board behind it there because if I didn't, I was running the fretboard in to the thickness sander, and ultimately it was just causing more and more issues for me. Eventually what I do is I take that board out and I just end up freehanding this and coming back down and flattening it out with a block. And ultimately that worked pretty good for me. It came out very even and right where I needed it to be. Alright, we're back inside, and I was having some issues, but we got her. I ended up using a little bit of the disc sander to help kind of finish it off, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Just over 600 thou. That's pretty much what I was aiming for. Let's put a tuner in it and see how that looks. Squeeze that tight. That looks pretty good. Sticking out of there pretty well. It's sticking out of there just a little bit tall because I still have to. I'm gonna have to like countersink these holes and then put the little ferrule around it. But yeah, that's looking good. I'm happy with that. See if I can get that out of there. The next thing I'm going to want to do is start taping this thing up and find a good mounting spot so I can go spray it with some finish, I think. I want to focus on the body because I'm pretty sure the body's just about ready. But I'm going to start taping it up where I don't want finish. And yeah, we'll spray it here before too long. Alright, so I've taped up the fretboard, but I also don't want to get finish on the inside, so I'm just going to fill that with paper. Packing paper is a good solution for this, because I don't care if I get finish on it, I can still just pull it right back out the hole, and it will kind of hold its shape while it's in there. So, that'll keep finish from getting in there. Now what we need to do is mount this thing. I forgot that I drilled a hole, so maybe we'll wrap something around one of the peg holes. I'm not sure. Let me think about that just a second, and we'll get this mounted one way or another. So I took one of my little spool clamps and kind of broke it apart here, and I put both wing nuts on the inside as well as one of the actual like spool parts that we use for clamping. And that's all on the inside here, so I should be able to do this, and then I'll put another wing nut on the outside, or maybe two, so they kind of hold together. I should be able to wrap a wire around here and hold it tight that way. So we should have a good solid mount now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let me tear apart another one, and then we can go hang this up and maybe spray some finish on it. So I thinned down this lacquer pretty good, and basically as I'm spraying it on, it's drying really fast. The 95-degree heat outside is helping it dry pretty quick too, but really as fast as I'm spraying it on, it's drying. I'm trying to go for a pretty heavy first coat. I want to get some on there, and then I'll go put a couple more coats on here, because eventually I am going to have to bring it back in and sand it pretty good before we're really talking about finishing coats here. So I'm not afraid to put a good amount on there at this point, just to make sure we're getting it on there. And instrument lacquer, it shrinks, so I want to get a good amount on there. But this is honestly a pretty heavy first coat. So this is the third of the heavier coats I'm putting on today. I wait until every coat is dry before I put another coat on, and all three coats have been fairly heavy. At this point, I'm going to let this set over the weekend. I'll move it inside after this coat is fairly dry, so that it won't be out in the heat all weekend. However, I'm going to give it several days to dry before we go sanding on it. I want the lacquer to be well cured before we start sanding. I don't want to be sanding on soft lacquer. But this should be a good first step on getting this thing finished. Hope you enjoyed watching this video on getting some work done on my custom acoustic guitar build. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.